What does world peace look like? 7/31/25. Let's talk about it. Lori, Elliot here with A Voice in the Dark production. We are enough. We do not consent. What does world peace look like? We're seeing it right now around the world. Africa is making a stand for its people with dignity and taking care of their people and taking their countries back from the oligarchy. People are standing up around the world against oligarchy. They're taking care of each other. Our country and our minerals and our rights belong to us, not some handful of billionaires. That's what peace looks like. We stand at a precipice to make a choice in this country, in the United States of America, of what we're going to really do. Do we want to be more for the people? Or do we want to keep giving away everything we have for the almighty dollar, of which is not trickling down to any of us? I ask you, where's our dignity as a people? And we are a people of mixed cultures. Every culture you can think of lives here. We are one of the most profound, coolest countries, I think, than any of them. However, we have been taken for a ride by the elite for too long. For over 50 years, since World War I, they came in and started taking over our country, getting rid of regulations and taking over media, taking over our food now, and it's got to stop, because they fed us nothing but negativity and raunchiness. It keeps getting raunchier and raunchier sexually out there, and it's like, come on, man, what happened to the class? And what happened to just being good, wholesome, healthy people? I don't know about you, and I don't have a problem with sex. I love sex, but I like it with the right partner, and that's one partner. I don't want to belong to a hive mind with anyone, because I like my uniqueness. I like my authenticity. So what say ye? Are we going to embrace our authenticity and each other and our uniquenesses? The only reason we have so many people in poverty and on the streets, the homelessness, is because we allowed the large corporations to talk us into sending some of their work to other countries. And then you start dwindling down the middle class. So the middle class loses a whole big branch of the middle class, had to drop down, because they're going to keep working, because that's what we do. But you keep working, and now you're at a lower income. And what did it do to all those people that worked at that income? It dropped them down, and it dropped. That's where trickle down happens. It doesn't happen us getting better and having more money. It happens by kicking people down, 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 until we've got an endless amount of homelessness, which could be so easily taken care of. These are people that have dropped between, the cracks. And if they had a park where they could put their tent, and it's got lines, and they've got a little room there to maybe grow some food, or at least let their kids play, and they could actually have mail delivered. You have one big mailbox somewhere, but the number would be there. This is what you don't understand. The drop down is caused by the inability to take care of our homelessness, because we weren't prepared for it. When it started happening and the dominoes started falling, it happened so fast, and we were all so worried about taking care of our own damn self, because that's what you do. There's nothing wrong with it. But we failed to see what was happening to the people below us. This isn't their fault. This is the country's fault. This is the big business fault. Now they want to do us on 1099 forms, and we'll have to pay business taxes. We'll have to pay all our own Social Security. They aren't going to pay for shit. This is the biggest nightmare I've ever seen in my life as far as a assault on the people. This country was made by the people. And by God, we have some dignity left, I hope. I see it all over the world, everybody coming together. Except in this country, we have this great big divide, and I don't even understand it. I don't understand if they're unintelligent, if they are just blind, or just hell-bent, I've got to be right. I got to stand my ground. For what? I ask you, for what? You talk to Republicans and MAGA lovers, and they won't even talk about an issue. Well, I just have a right to my opinion. Really? Yeah, you do. But if you don't talk about it, we don't know how to make a correction that makes you happy. That's the whole problem here. You have to talk about it in common sense and realness. Anyway, world peace, it's countries like Africa with that young man, Traore, bringing his country together with dignity and saying enough to the oligarchy. Enough is enough. My people deserve electricity. My people deserve water. They deserve food. They deserve to be paid. And this country deserves to be paid for the minerals you're taking out. They were only getting 3% of whatever they took, and a lot of it was being ripped off and stolen. This is not about... This is about putting the elite in their place. And that is, the people of the world have had enough. And this country is tallywagging back and forth like some lost fucking fish going up like a trout or, the salmon when they go up against the current. We need to sit down, go outside, turn the friggin' Wi-Fi off, and just listen to nature. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, every day, just silence. And let your higher mind come through with clarity on what is right and what is wrong. I spend hours listening to good people in our government. They are asking valid questions. And the other side is saying it's just like a used car salesman or one of those preachers, that doesn't give a shit about anything. He'll preach about your sins and blah, 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 and how he's taking care of this, taking that. And if you don't put anything in that pot, well, he doesn't count you. It's about bullshit. They're feeding us a bunch of circle around bullshit. They won't answer a question. We do not want a king in the United States of America. We want a leader, a real one. A leader who says, no, our minerals and our country, our people deserve. We deserve to have a place to live. We deserve to have a place that's affordable. BlackRock and the elite, which is BlackRock, you might as well just look at it as BlackRock. They are trying to force us into 15-minute cities, pay us a stipend every month, and make us do whatever they want us to do. Old people can work in the fields. Women and children can work in the fields. This is what they want to do around the world. I'm telling them kiss my ass. I know, I've been trying not to cuss, but I can't help it. But what I'm seeing is world peace starts with the people, not the high-ups. There isn't a corporation out there that wants to feed you, wants to make you comfortable. They don't even want to pay their share of the Social Security anymore. That's why the 1099 form came out. And they passed it, for God's sakes. That means you're not an employee anymore. They don't have to get you insurance. They don't have to pay your Social Security, their share. And, you have to pay it all. And then they don't want to pay you. And then they want to work you as much overtime as they want. If you want any money, you're going to have to work overtime. Excuse me? And you're not going to pay for it. Because, oh, that's right, I am my own company now, and I have to either do it or not make any money. This is the biggest nightmare and the biggest kick in the teeth to the people of the United States of America. Wake up and see the writing on the wall. See, he has set this up so none of it will start taking place until after the elections, the midterms. We got a problem with that, because then when it hits, you're stuck with it. We need to stand up to this regime and these archaic dinosaurs who can't think. Now, granted, I agree. I agree that the left side went a little too far with pushing, transgenderism and this and that, and however, I think it was more for proving a point that we don't have any place telling people they can't be gay and be married and take care of their partner. That's all gays ever wanted, was the right to marry and be able to be legally seen so that they could provide insurance for their partner and take care of their partners. Now, transvestite or transgender, being a man who wants to be a woman, you still can't. You have to go by your birth certificate. You can't then go into women's sports. That's wrong. That's 100% wrong. You don't make it the playing field. That just isn't fair, because men and women are both physically built different. Stop running over women, too. Women are beautiful. They're beautiful creatures. They're beautiful beings. And they have been held down, told to shut up, told to be quiet. You're not supposed to be seen. You're just supposed to take care of some asshole that comes home every day. And, I could go on forever on that one. But I won't. But I will say that women are just as important in this world as anyone else. And we need to start protecting our children. So if we've got a bunch of elite out there that are pedophiles and taking advantage of young girls with all kinds of promises and this and that, and all they're really doing is raping them and taking advantage of them, then we need to do something about that. I am not happy. And I'm hoping that most of the country is not over all this bullshit. And while they're doing all this drama crap to keep us busy going, looking at this and looking at that and looking at this, they're passing laws that are fucking unreal. And they have nothing to do with protecting the people. We, the people, have to protect ourselves. And we have to demand from Senate and Congress and that Supreme Court to either live by the Constitution or get the hell out. That's what world peace looks like. It looks like people standing up for their dignity in a kind, gentle manner, but we've got laws and they need to be upheld. We have a Constitution that needs to be upheld. And we need to go back and make sure that we go back 50 years and see all these little extra ways around, loopholes that they created to get around our laws, our regulations, and put it all back in order and make it even better so that they can never do this again. Because unlike some people in this country, I would rather be one of the countries that is getting the homeless, yes, off the streets, getting them set up in a proper park where they've got an address. Even if it's a tent, they have an address. Even if it's a van, they have an address so that they can get their mail. They can get back into society. We've got a lot of single adult aged people out on their own living in vans and cars. Why is that? Because let me tell you, it's next to impossible living off of our Social Security now because they jacked the fucking economy up so damn high. Now, nobody can afford to even rent an apartment. So I say to you, American people of the United States, what are we going to look at 20 years down the road and say, did we stand up for ourselves and have dignity? Did we stand up for ourselves and our people? We can get people back to work. We just have to create the jobs. Have they created any new jobs? Hell no. Matter of fact, a lot of jobs have been downsized and taken out of the country. Again, another smack. When are you going to open your eyes and see that this isn't working anymore? That this is a nightmare that never should have happened. Now, I'm not any happier with the Democrats because they were setting this up too because they're part of the elites and they're in the elites' pockets. And they have to go too. And they know who they are and they need to stand down and step back. But so do the Republicans and that Supreme Court. 6 of them need to go. Well, I won't say that. 3 of them, for sure, need to go. What I'm saying is, we, the people, are the only ones that can make a difference here because we are the majority. But we can't do it separated. So get over the problems that you think we have and look at them in a real manner so we can deal with them. And we can deal with them gracefully instead of stupid and violently. I can't believe there's that many Republicans out there that are violent thinking and angry. At what? Because you're having a hard time? Don't you think they're having a hard time? Didn't you see them fall through the cracks as you fell through the cracks? What world peace looks like is when the people stand together for the people. And they pick leaders who are the same way, who are willing to roll their sleeves up and get dirty and plant fucking trees if we need trees planted, and to use our military for the positive things we need in this country, to help build the parks if we need to build them for the homeless for now. And get doctors in on vans so that they can come in once a month and check the ones that need help, especially the vets, you know, that have the PTSD and all that, to make sure they're taking their meds and that they got their meds. They've got an address now so they can get their meds. They can get this, they can get that. You have to understand and see the bigger picture here. I guess I'm really tired of people not seeing the bigger picture in the right perspective. Do your homework. Look at what happened, and then decide that you're either so selfish and so greedy about whatever, I don't know, because none of us have anything. You don't have anything more than I do, and I don't have anything more than you do. But we are still in the net. But you're allowing violence to happen to people that are not, all he's doing is getting numbers for ICE. He is not giving a shit about going after criminals. Matter of fact, he's pardoning criminals and bringing them back here from Venezuela. I'm telling you now, this has been one big fuck to the United States and the people. And you need to wake up and see it. I was going to make this so peaceful and positive. But in a way it is. Because it's a wake-up call. A wake-up call to the people of the United States of America. Either we stand together in dignity all the way across the board, or we lose everything. Is that what you want to do? He is trying so determined to create a civil unrest and a civil war, a race war, a whatever war. He doesn't give a shit as long as we're all fighting each other. See this for what it is. Wake up and see it. And do your research, and I mean research. Get off YouTubes and get in the goddamn internet before they change all that. They're trying to stop everything and history-wise at 2016. So go pre-2016 and start really looking. Get some books and read them, but you don't have much time. Time is of the essence, and we are here now. So we need to look at each other and think of the black person you worked with. Was there one you didn't like? How many white people didn't you like? I bet it was double or triple the number. Get over it. There's always going to be someone that's taking advantage of the system. We catch them and we smack their hands and fine them or throw them in jail. We have laws. We do use them. And if you find somebody that's cheating the system, turn them in. But you can't sit idly by thinking, they're getting it. Well, you're next. And I'm telling you now, it's the people on disability that are next. And you really, 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 really need to think. Because in their mind, if you can't take care of yourself, oh well, maybe you don't need to exist. That's their thoughts. So, what does world peace look like? Take a look at the other countries. Take a look at Africa and what he's doing, and the Traore and the Faso. Go look it up. I've posted it plenty of times for you to look. He has done some speeches that are incredibly, incredibly wonderful. We need a leader like that in our country. And then we can work together. We can work together with communities and get our food healthy again if we have to grow it in buildings for a while and let the ground be healthy, you know. Our water table, something's wrong with our water now. You can't drink it. What are we supposed to do? And I live in one of the highest income per capita in the two-state area, and we have water problems too now. You have to ask yourself, what is this really all about? And it's about a takeover and destruction, and they don't care about who survives at all. At all. They want to bring in a whole new world where people are dumbed down and they're hooked up to the internet and they're hooked up to something that can control them. Tell them what they need to hear, what they want them to hear, what they want them to know, and that's it. Anytime they try to dissolve, and Rome does this all the time. Rome destroyed the greatest, they destroyed all libraries, but they destroyed the greatest library in the history of the world, which was in Alexandria, with Queen Cleopatra. And I'm telling you now, that's what they're wanting to do now. So if you have anything that has history in it, you want to keep the books, you want to download anything you can off the internet, because they're getting ready to rip it all out. They're changing things now. This isn't a joke. This isn't, oh, we've got another 20 years. This is here and now, and you have to make choices. You're out of time. You have to look. And the only thing that seems to be working around the world right now is the people coming together under a strong, positive leadership. These people were going in and mining all the minerals in Africa at their leisure, taking all the money, jacking up prices for everybody else in the world for gold and silver and this and that, and then leaving those people with less 3% of whatever they said the price was, and they still didn't have running water, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have this, they still were using children in the mines. I'm telling you, this is the direction they want to go for the whole world again, especially this new regime that's in there that calls them the MAGA, Great America, Great Again. They want to go back to child labor. They don't care anymore. They don't give a damn about anybody. But the thing is what they fail to realize is the only thing that can support those kind of people is a strong middle class, and you got to pay them. And then we can help with, that's why we had good taxes, because then we could help the poor. We could help them get re-entered into society if they fell through the cracks. That's all that was. Yes, there's some people that cheat. We find them. They get busted. They go to jail. But they're the few and rare in-betweens. Grow up. You're out of time. This regime is making and why? You have to ask yourself why. Why didn't the Democrats in the last regime take the Heritage Foundation and charge them as terrorists because they wrote an agenda to take over the United States government in 180 days? And guess what? That's what Trump's following. Please, by all means, think about that and read it. If you need a copy, let me know. Anyway, I am yelling and being strong today because my heart is with the people, not the they aren't even brainiacs. They are just rich kids who are taking off and being ignorant. That's what this is. This is what legacy money does. When the big guys die off, they leave their children, and their children are fucking wrecked this time. And that's how it goes. They're just a bunch of spoiled brats that had money and decided to do this, do that. They can follow and do anything, but they do not have original thought. Only we do. So do not let anybody put something in your brain or in your body that interferes with your intelligence. You have a right to think. You have a right to be your authentic self, and you have a right to stand up and say, I do not consent to what this bullshit is. We're either going to be part of the world that stood up and said no more, or we're going to be the next third world country that said, oh shit. And what, put your tail between your legs and go, oh well, that's what happens. I don't think so. That's not what our forefathers were. That's not what any of our ancestry is. The strongest people in the world made an effort to get the hell out of their countries where it was so controlled, and you were thought of as nothing but a number, and that's if you're lucky. If you haven't traveled the world, you don't know. So study it. Care enough to look and see how history worked out. And get the damn book on the Constitution, because I'm going to tell you what, I'll read the story tomorrow of the kind of crap we broke away from in England from that king. Well, Trump's acting just like him, if not worse. And I didn't think worse could happen. So I'm not a Trump hater, as some people like to put it. They like to laugh. Oh, she's a Trump hater. She's a Trump hater. No, I am a reality hater. I don't believe in authoritarianism. I don't want another Putin in this country running us into the ground and then, patting us on the back and saying, well, you can have this food and you can have this. And that's it. And you're going to be happy with it. No. We're used to our freedom. What does freedom mean to you? Freedom meant that you could go to college if you wanted to, and you could expand your career if you wanted to, or you could be okay with, a lower income job, supporting your husband, and you could have a family. You had choices. Freedom is choices. Freedom is being able to be your authentic self and not worrying about somebody throwing a fucking rock at your head. I have friends that are gay. I have friends that are black. And they are so concerned about living in this country anymore, they don't know what to do. And immigrants, you know why they're getting rid of immigrants? And they don't care right now. Right now they're just doing numbers to make it look good because they're taking over the country. Then they'll really put the hammer down. But immigrants, we had to bring them in because we were doing so well that the middle class did not have to send their children to work in the farms in the fall to do the harvest. We used to, and it's only been 2 generations that we stopped doing it. That's who those immigrants are. Yes, did the Democrats let a bunch of them in because they were arguing with the Republicans? It was a battle between them. And it's a battle between elites. It's a battle of rulers. Well, let's just tell them we don't want the rulers here anymore. Let them go find an island to live on and do their fighting. You know, we'll send them some of those, I don't know, widget things and let them throw them at each other. Nerf balls. But we have to look at this and say it's done. We've had enough. We don't want it to go any further. God bless us all, because we're going to need it. Because we need to sit and really be with ourselves. Really be with ourselves, alone. In silence with our Maker. Which is inside. So you don't have to go outside and look for anything. It's inside. It's always been there. Touch it. Get to know yourself a little bit. And find out what your Maker would make of all this. And you have to decide if you're going to have any dignity for life at all, which means unity. It does not mean separation. God be with us all. I love you. More out.